Right, so here is another half an hour video with some of the basics in that you got in the previous videos, but some other exercises that we haven't done yet. Okay, so taking a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and allowing your body to release into the mat on the exhale, and finding your space on the mat. Feeling the weight through the back of your pelvis, through your feet, through the back of the pelvis, the back of the rib cage, and the back of your head. And very gently turning your head from side to side, keeping your chin level. And I just want to say something that we are going to be doing some exercises on your front, quite a few. So if you have a lower back issue and you feel you may need an extra head cushion or rolled up towel underneath your abdominals, pause the video and go and grab that now. Coming back to center. Right, and pelvic tilt. 1. And release. And 2. So just warming up the body before we start. 5 of these. Two more. And then drawing your leg up. And hamstring stretch. Holding it for a count of 5. Watching that your shoulders are relaxed. And changing. Bringing the legs down and going into your spine curl or your pelvic lift. Take a breath in, breathe out, tip the pelvis, push into your feet, and lift the pelvis up. Taking a breath in at the top and breathing out to roll down. Making sure that when you come down that you release the pelvis, you release the glutes rather, and you roll the pelvis away from you. And again, just checking that your alignment is correct, that your knees don't feel like they're going out to the side, that you don't feel like you're rolling onto the outer edges of your feet. Press, if you find that's happening, press through the base of the big toe. 4, I think. And 1 more, 5. Right, rolling down, bringing your arms up, turning the palms to face each other, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, and reaching your right arm up 5 times. Nice straight arms without being locked in the elbows. Palms facing inwards. 3, lifting the shoulder off the mat. 4, and 1 more, 5. Other side, and 1, and drop, and 2, and drop, 3, 4, and 1 more, 5. Okay, interlacing your fingers, putting them behind your head. Take a breath in and breathe out, curl up. 1, and back. 2. Remembering not to pull the chin down towards the chest. 3. Without you not changing the shape of the neck. Your head is nice and heavy in your hands. 5 obliques to the right. 1, and back. 2. Watching that you don't pull your left arm over. 3. It stays wide. 4, and 5. Changing sides. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And bringing the arms down. Right. Going into the 100. Taking one leg up, bringing the other leg up. Together, the first 50 we're going to do with the knees together. If you have a back issue, you'll do the second 50 with the knees together and keep them like this. If you have a really strong back and you want to do all 100 with the legs straight, turned out, you're more than welcome to. So, arms down, lift up, press your lower backs into the mat, draw the abdominals in, drop the shoulders, squeeze the knees together, take a breath in, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep checking your shoulders. And if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, drop the legs. But just be aware that you do not want to lift your lower back off the mat at all. Last 5. Bend the knees in, draw them in, roll your head from side to side. And bring your one leg down and the other leg down. Coming up into a sitting position for your half roll back. So you're going to roll back, hands go behind your knees. You round your spine into a C curve. In fact, let's keep the legs down. And you roll back to the length of your arms. Drop the shoulders. And you roll back up. And straighten. And you round into your C curve. And you roll back. And you straighten up. And third one, feet hip width distance apart, knees hip width distance apart. 2 more, 4, and 1 more, 5. Rolling all the way back, and I'm just taking my socks off because I'm getting a bit hot. And you're going to go into your leg circles, okay? So you're going to straighten this leg up, turn it out like a dancer. And you circle 5 times in one direction, straightening your legs. So if you have really tight hamstrings, they will be slightly bent. And other way. So working your quads, the thighs, front of your thighs. And 5, and changing legs. And 1, 2. Trying to keep your pelvis as still as possible. It will move a little bit. 1. Making sure you're not feeling anything in your lower back. And bringing the legs down. Okay, going into the ab 5. So we are going to draw the legs up. And the first one is your single leg stretch. So curling up, extending this leg. Take a breath in, making sure your lower back is pressed into the mat, shoulders, and change 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Crossing your ankles over and rolling from side to side. Coming back to center with the pelvis and just giving your head and neck a little roll, a couple of times each direction. And coming into your Pilates stance or your frog's legs, one hand on each knee for your double leg stretch. Curling up, dropping the shoulders. Take a breath in as you breathe out. 1, and in. 2, and in. 3, and in. 4. 1 more. 5. Lower down. Roll your head from side to side. Straightening both your legs up. Curling up. And scissors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I forgot to say in the beginning that if you have a neck and shoulder problem, please keep your head down on the mat and don't take your legs so low, or you can put your hands behind your head and just do the leg movements. Right, double leg stretch, both hands behind your head, straighten the legs up, curl up, pull in the abdominals, press your lower back into the mat and breathe out. 1, breathe in. 2, being very aware of what your lower back is doing. 3, 4, and 5. And pressing your elbows back, rolling from side to side. Okay, into your crisscross. Curling up, extending your left leg. Take a breath in and breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And rolling down. Rolling from side to side. So going into an exercise now called corkscrew. Straighten your legs up. You can do it with bent knees if you have a back issue. It's advisable. Otherwise your arms go out to the side, not in a high V, a lower speed. You bring your legs in towards you. You roll over onto your right hip, lifting your left hip off the mat, and down in a little semicircle to the left, lifting your right hip off the mat, and down again. It is not a full circle, it's a half circle, like a pendulum swinging. Back to the right. Third one. Fourth one. And last one. And remember, if any of these exercises do not feel right for your back, stop them immediately. And pull it, roll from side to side. Okay, bringing your leg down, coming up into sitting, and taking your legs wide. You're going to go into saw. So your legs are quite wide, your arms come up, they're not very wide. You're sitting up nice and tall. You're going to twist to the right, and you're going to drop towards your arm towards your baby toe, look underneath your right shoulder, armpit, and up. Inhale, twist. Exhale, drop. Inhale, twist. Exhale, drop. Inhale, twist. And last one. And coming up. Just bringing your hands behind you, pulling your shoulders back. And going into an exercise now called single leg kick. If you have a lower back issue, please put your head cushion or your rolled up towel or whatever you're using underneath your pelvis, and you're going to put your head in this position, hands crossed over and your forehead on your crossed over hands. If your back is okay, we're going to come into this position, drawing the shoulders away from the ears, bringing the legs slightly more towards each other, and you're going to double kick and lower. Double kick. So what you want to feel is that your upper body is nice and stable. You don't want to feel this happening, okay? Pressing your elbows down into the mat, drawing your abdominals in. Fourth set. Working your hamstrings, and fifth set. Okay, and sitting back, grabbing your heels just to release your lower back in case you went into it. Okay, going into your prone beats now, so coming back into the same position. Everybody's going to be doing the same. Remember, head cushion or towel underneath your belly if you have a low back issue. Your feet and legs come a little bit closer together than normal, and you're going to lift your legs off the mat, hopefully trying to get your knees off the mat as well, but very definitely not feeling anything in your lumbar spine. Head on your hands, and you're going to kick them together. So take a breath in, and it's to the breathing pattern of the 100, in for 5, out for 5. Take a breath in and out, 2, 5, in 2. Using the base of your glutes, so this part of your bottom and your inner thighs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Last 5. Lower the legs and push back. This time pushing your hands into the mat and releasing your lower back. Okay, after the prone beats now, we're going to go into the teaser. So you're going to come onto your back. Head cushion in place if you've been using one. And the teaser is about these lower abdominal muscles, your back muscles and your inner thighs. So bringing the legs up, putting your hands behind the back of your knees for this version. You're going to take a breath in, breathe out, nod and curl, roll up. You're going to straighten your back and you're going to straighten your legs. And you may want to keep them in parallel if you don't like the turnout. Tighten your inner thighs, whichever version you're using. Tighten this lower abdominal muscle here. Work your back. And you're going to let go with your arms and lift them up. Hold it for 5. Squeeze the knees together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, 5. And bend. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And bend. And one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend. Roll back down. Draw the knees in. And roll from side to side. Okay, bring one leg down and the other leg down. Rolling over onto your tummy. Going into an exercise called swimming. So again, putting that cushion or towel underneath your belly. Arms go out like this. Legs go out, hip-width distance apart, or a little bit closer together. Hip-width is fine. You're going to lift your legs just off the mat like we did in that last prone beats exercise. Then you're going to lift your arms and you're going to go into swimming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower. I want you to tuck your toes under this time and push back into the rest position. Stretching out your arches, toes, lower back. Okay, then going into an exercise called leg pull front and leg pull back. We'll be doing both of them. It is quite wristy, so if you have weak wrists, you'll do what you can. You'll come down when you feel your wrists are not enjoying it. Okay. So it's like a plank. You're going to take one leg back, other leg back. You're going to lower in your plank, and you're going to go forward on your toes and backwards. But just note that I'm not sticking my bottom up like that. Okay, I'm keeping that plank, that straight line from my shoulder joint to my ankle joint. 2 more. Abs in. And then when you've done your last one, slide your one knee in. Slide the other knee in. Just push back into the rest position. And then going into what we call the leg pull back. So into this position, hands behind you. Fingers out to the side. Okay. And you are going to lift your pelvis up off the mat. So you've got a nice straight back. And you're just going to lift up like that. Making sure your shoulders aren't hunched in. Pull them back and lower. And then we're going to add in a leg lift when you're up. 3 on each side. Right. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Lift. And 1, 2, 3. Other leg. Keeping your hips level with each other. 1, 2, 3. Coming down. And reaching for your toes or your ankles. Stretching out your back. Coming up. And just placing your hands behind you. Pulling your shoulders back. And then we're going to go into an exercise called seal, which is very similar to rolling like a ball, but your hands go in a different position. So instead of rolling like a ball, you put your hands here. You're going to put them in, and you're going to hold behind you on the outside. You're going to lift your legs up. You are going to round your spine. You're going to roll back, and you're going to clap, clap your feet together. Roll up, clap, clap. Roll back, clap, clap. Roll up, clap, clap. And you're going to do 5. So going in for the third one. That's started before you, I think. And 4. 1 more, 5. And bringing your legs down. Right, going into push-ups. So, we're going to do the ladies' push-ups on your knees. If your knees don't like it, then you're going to do the full push-up with your legs long. So take your knees further back. Hands, I want you to put your hands a little bit wider. Cross your ankles over and come into a plank. So remember, the plank position is a straight line from here to the knee joint. So you don't want your bottom stuck out like this. You want it in, which means there's a lot of glutes and a lot of abdominals. And bend. 1. And push. 2. Elbows out to the side. 3. 4. 5. 5 more. 6. Keeping your head in line with the neck, the upper back. 7. Not dropping the chin down to the chest. 8. 9. And 10. Tuck your toes under. And push back. Okay, so giving it a try, the long leg one. Only doing 5. So coming to the front of your mat. 1 leg back. Other leg back. Dropping into your plank. And little. 1. 2. 3. 4. 1 more. 5. 1 knee in, other knee in. Sit back. Take hold of your ankles and pull. Okay, coming back into lying on your back, going into a few low back stretches because we've done so much work on our fronts. So just checking that we stretch out your low backs nicely. So crossing this right leg over the left leg and rolling over to the side. Right arm out to the side, palm up and level with your shoulder joint or just below the shoulder joint. Turning your head to the right as you pull over to the left. And rolling back up. Changing sides and over the other way. And back into your stretch. This one, right ankle over left leg for your hips and your glutes and the sciatic nerve. And pulling the leg in. Straightening it up, either keeping your hands here or moving them. Heel up to the ceiling and point and flex 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Other leg, left over right, and pulling in. Straightening up, and point and flex. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And bring the leg down. Lengthening your left leg away from you, bringing your right leg up, putting your left hand on your right knee, your right arm out to the side, and rolling over. And if you feel you need an extra stretch, just shift the pelvis, the bottom of your pelvis to the right, or the center of the mat, and you'll be able to get a deeper twist and stretch. Coming back, adjusting the pelvis back to the center of the mat, and doing the other side. Rolling over and shifting your pelvis. just drawing your knees in for a second and rolling in a nice big circle 5 times in one direction, right around the widest edge of the circle or the back of the pelvis, and 5 in the other. Bring your left leg down and hamstring stretch, heel up to the ceiling. Open up the back of the knee joint, which means you probably feel a little bit of a tightening here. And changing legs. And bring the leg down. Right. Putting over onto your sides, into your 4-point kneeling. Taking your hands quite wide. And keeping your spine in its neutral position. We're just going to bend the elbows, take the chin down, and push up. And 2, and up. 3, elbows out to the side. 4, stretching across the front of the chest. And 5. Bring your arms in and going into your looking under the bed, I like to call it. Dropping 1 and up. 2. Bending your left elbow as you drop your right shoulder down towards the mat. 3. 4. Be careful not to sit back with your pelvis when you do it. 5. Changing arms. And 1. 2. 3. 4. 1 more 5. Tucking your toes under and pushing back. Feeling the stretch in the arches. And then coming up, pressing your heels down and pushing your pelvis back. Feeling that big stretch on the back of your legs. And just watching that you're not sticking your ribs out. So drawing them in. And then coming down. Right, sitting forwards, our normal or regular inner thigh stretch. So nice straight back and coming forwards. And to the right leg. And to the left. Coming up, giving your shoulders a roll backwards and forwards. Bring your legs in, crossing this leg over. In fact, let's do it like this today. And twisting. Nice and straight with your spine. Equal weight on both bum bones, so you haven't leant more to one side than the other. And changing. Pulling it on this knee. And pressing down. Coming up, rolling the shoulders. And forwards. And that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it.